changed it.
Okay. I was just wondering because I still have the flippinar.com on my advertisement. But last time I went there, I didn't see the link though. I was like, okay.
We are live. A little pre-show information, but we are live for show number 110. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and guess what? We're back on Instagram. So boom. So you can only see me, but hopefully you can hear the others. I guess Asia needs to try to look them up on. Oh, you want to give your iPad or you good on your phone? Okay. So I'll turn it over to Adrian.
All right, guys, welcome. Thanks for joining us, as Ty said, for show number 110. It's Thursday, August the 8th, and my is time flying. Welcome. You still have time to tag a friend, tell them to join us, where this is the place where you ask questions in regards to wholesaling properties with little to no cash or credit. And you ask the questions, and Ty and or Radicchio will answer your questions. King Quan, what do you mean Adrian is back? I've been back. I ain't been nowhere. Yeah. As always, grateful that the beautiful Miss Radicchio is here. Say hello, Rennie.
Hello. How are y'all today?
Super tight.
All right, I'm good. Now, last week, guys, I'm just going to remind you, last week, Ty mentioned to you that he would like for you guys to start sending maybe a video question via Instagram. Ask Flipman, IG, what is it?
It's Ask Flipman.
Ask Flipman on Instagram, where you can just simply go into the messages and choose to do a video and send him a 30-second, preferably less than 30, no more than a minute, question. I did not miss 3 episodes, King Quan. Thank you very much. You missed them. Okay, but back to it. You send a video question to him, and he would then answer your question via Instagram or live on the Flippinars that we do on Thursdays. So we had 2 people who actually submitted questions. One, if you, again, are a follower on Instagram, the question was there. And the other question, we're going to make that be the first one for tonight. So we're going to give Ty a moment to set up and pull that question up. In the meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and let Miss Radicchio introduce herself again to you guys. Maybe some are new, and advise you on what services her company can provide for you in your wholesaling journey.
Absolutely. First and foremost, I like to always thank Ty and Adrian for having me a part of the Flippinar Ask Flipman show. So I am Radicchio Williams, the founder and certified fund manager for Fortune Key Financials, as well as our sister company Capital on Demand. Our focus is to help individuals understand the power of their credit and then the power of leveraging by financing their assets through our creative financing options. One of our creative financing options is we help you leverage your credit to receive up to $150,000 of unsecured credit to help you be able to invest into your wholesale business, marketing, down payment assistance to your next fix and flip or buy and hold. But we also can take your business to a whole nother level with all of our residential and commercial investment opportunities for our fix and flip loans, our buy and hold loans, and our new construction loans. Now, if you want to get in contact with me, you can go to want to get in contact with me or look at our creative financing option. Go to findmynextdeal.com, or you can email me at funding@fkfinancials.com as well, or reach out to me via Facebook or Instagram.
All right, there you have it, guys. And surely, if you're just now joining us or new, you know that we will give that information out again towards the end of today's show. Wanting to most definitely take a moment to say hello to some people. Cash Deals, Alex Diaz, Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe. Quan, I already been talking to you. Hector Nunez, Shahid, Eli Wells, Rena, Charles Jenkins, what's up? Kev Lewis, Nathaniel, Carmen, Derek, Patricia, Michael, and Derek. There's plenty more, I'm sure, but just wanted to say hello to you guys. Ty, so this whole post your question thing, how does that work? Like,
oh, we only had 2 people to post. One of them I put out on Instagram. In one of my posts, I think the headline is, can you wholesale foreclosures? That was related to the lady's question that sent it over through Instagram. So we're going to put high priority on individuals that send over videos, and you'll see how it looks here or whatever. That may change or whatever. So we're going to put high priority. So you want to get your questions answered. I guess at some point it would get to where we couldn't answer everybody, but at this point, whoever sends a video, we're going to put you high priority as far as getting your questions answered, either here live on the show and or on Instagram. So boom. So we're going to rock with this first only question that we have by video, and we'll roll with it. I don't know if I could do it while we got the show going on, or what. I don't know if I can edit it fast enough, but no, I couldn't do that. It would take too much. But anyway, so for future shows, and again, I definitely will answer them on Instagram if you DM me. Don't make sure you DM the video itself. Don't send me like a story or something that you did on your page. DM me the actual video, and then we'll get it going. So we're going to post the question that we have from a young lady that sent it through Instagram. So hopefully, I haven't tested this live. We tested it before we started the show, so hopefully this works out. So here we go.
Nice.
Who are already making money. So I'm just trying to get some feedback.
Well, it'd be nice if I started over.
About houses and how I can make money on flipping houses. I have no experience. I want to see how I can learn to flip houses without putting down little to no money and earn great money doing it. So I just want to be like you all who are already making money. I'm just trying to get some feedback to where I can start or I should start. So that I can get some.
Oh, her basic question was
How to get started.
how to get started.
Yep.
And it was a good one. I love that. So thank you very much. I can't remember what her handle was on Instagram, but I'm sure she'll see it if she follows us. And she, you might didn't know I was going to do that, but hey, there you go. You got there. So whatever. I think you're good with it though. Y'all see, I love the brand. Put all that other stuff around it, you know.
It looks nice.
Hey, I gotta do my thing or whatever. So I pay for these graphics, man. I gotta put them out there.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that's well, it won't look like that if I did. Let me put it like that. So anyway, to answer our question, Radicchio will pick it back off of my answer is that how to get started. Ooh, that's the broadest question. So obviously with anything, you need to know what you're doing. So in order to know what you are doing, you need to educate yourself first. And there are a lot of ways of going about educating yourself in this wholesale game. Obviously, I have what I have, you know, the content that you can tap into. There are others out there, but let me just make sure that and some people, they can do this, but others, they can't. Is that you'll tend to watch some of my stuff, and the way YouTube is set up, they're going to suggest other videos of similar content. And so people call me and say, which assignment contract you say you use? And my response would be, and hopefully it don't come out that I'm being, you know, smart or whatever. I said, you're probably not watching my stuff. You've confused me with someone else because I really don't ever use an actual assignment contract per se. I use a purchase and sales agreement. I'm just giving an example. So you can dive into my content and it's all there. I'm not saying not to broaden your horizon and learn from others. I just know that I give it all away. I don't give you bits and pieces. I give it all away that you can do deals. So the first thing you want to do is educate yourself. But that education is worthless if you don't take the next step as putting it into action. And what I mean by putting it into action, this business boils down to generating leads. That's all it boils down to. In reality, as a wholesaler, you're your own marketing agency that generates leads. You contract them at a really cheap price, and cash buyers are basically buy your contract. That's all you're doing. So educate yourself, take action by getting your phone to ring with motivated sellers, or you can build cash buyers for list first and go out and get what they want. Both work. But that's the name of the game, is generating leads. So young lady that asked a question on Instagram, educate yourself first and start to generate leads by taking action.
Absolutely.
All right.
That's actually a really, really great question, because I know a lot of people looking to get into this game and really don't know where to start. There's a lot of information out there. And I'll definitely agree with Ty on this. You just got to educate yourself on whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So if it's wholesaling, educate yourself on the wholesale game. If you know you want to do fix and flip, educate yourself on buying and flipping properties. If you know you want to do buying wholes, educate yourself on buying wholes. At the end of the day, the real estate is so broad and there's a lot of different lanes. You want to educate yourself on, honestly, all the lanes kind of coexist together. However, the execution of each one of those lanes are different. So you want to figure out what are your action plan per lane. So let's just take that lane to just wholesaling. So if you're looking to get started in wholesaling, what does that really look like? First and foremost, you want to educate yourself just on the wholesale business as a whole. What are you doing? What are you trying to accomplish? How do you get contracts and things of that nature? And then you want to, I would say this right here. As you educating yourself, you want to begin to create bullet points. What I have realized in my 15 years in this game, that honestly, majority of all these wholesale deals are the same. There's nothing really different other than the house, the address, and the numbers. But the meat of being able to execute the wholesale deal is always the same. A, B, C. You're going to market for a lead. Once you get a lead, you're going to put that lead, put that contract, put that property on the contract at the lowest price possible, like Ty said. And then you're going to market that contract to end buyers. And then you're going to assign your original contract to your end buyer. And then you're going to submit all of that over to attorney. So what do you want to do as you're learning and going through all these videos that you have? Begin to build bullet points on whatever stage are you in, lead generation stage. What are the bullet points I need to know in lead generation? And what are the things I need to execute in lead generation? Okay, when I get a lead, what are the things I need to do? Okay, when I get a property in a contract, what are these things I need to do? Because nothing really changes. No matter what house that you're wholesaling, the meat of the structure does not change. So if you get your meat and your foundation right, knowing exactly what to do on each stage, execution would be very easy for you.
Hey, we got a question. Can I read the question from Instagram? Okay, we have a question from Instagram from, I don't know how to say it.
Don't say it.
I won't give up.
Okay.
I'll give up. All right, what's the minimum amount? Okay, basically this question is, what's the minimum number of Bandit signs to start with? And is this the best strategy for beginners? Question is from Instagram.
Start with what you can start with. You know, I mean, there's no set numbers. It's not a set number because it only takes one sign to get a contract or get a buyer from it. So I would not be set on the number, but just stay set on what you have, because we say 100 and you don't have the money for 100, you would never get off the ground. So I would say, 100 a week is a good number. However, if you can't afford 100 a week and you only do 5 a week, start with that 5 a week. So start with what you have, regardless of what that number is. In my opinion, a good number is 100. In my opinion, when I'm first starting something, I want to flood it. I want everyone to know that I'm in this business. I want to flood it. I don't want to just put out 1 or 2 Bandit signs, hoping someone calls. I'm flooding the streets with Bandit signs, So if you really want to take this business to another level quickly, you want to flood the streets with your Bandit signs. 100 a week, in my opinion, is a good start. However, start with what you have. If it's 5, start with 5. It's my opinion.
Okay, yeah, most definitely. I'm going to always side on doing something. That's always doing something versus absolutely zero. I'm going to always side on that. Assuming that you did have a decent budget when you started, we'll just say $500, maybe $300 to $500, then Bandit signs is a good way to start to generate leads, but it is a method to doing it right. You just don't go out there and just put out signs. Do some research. I have videos, others have videos out there that show you how to put them out and different methods of doing it. So he says he can't seem to get any traction. In order for me to answer that question, I'd have to know what your signs say, how many are you putting out, how many are staying up over the course of a couple of weeks. All of that are factoring on how effective your bandit sign campaign is or isn't.
Okay.
It's a combination. You know, don't just put all your apples in one marketing campaign. You know, find 2 or 3 of them. There's a lot of different ways to do lead generation. Therefore, you're not waiting for someone to call your sign, you know, because you have multiple campaigns going on out there, from bandit signs, yellow letter, driving for dollars, you know, and things of that nature. You know, try to have multiple campaigns going if you can. So you're not just waiting on those leads from those bandit signs.
Okay, in regards to bandit signs and speaking of doing them right and wrong, Nathaniel Stowe wants to know, should you avoid any attempts to add an email, website, company name to those bandit signs?
Well, I'll show you, and I messed up, but hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna hold on, let me see. Where is it? Okay. All right, let me see. 1 second, guys. Let me pull this up. There it is. All right, this bandit sign here that I put up on the image on a video that I did, and I spelled Dealulator wrong. You see that? Boy,
Yeah, you did.
You definitely don't want to get your numbers and stuff.
I think, yeah. I was trying to be.
How many signs of them you put?
No. I wouldn't put Dealulator on my sign. That's just something I just made. I was
oh.
trying to be cute and marked it Dealulator, and then even spell it right.
That's gay.
Somebody pointed out to me, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm trying to be
pointed out to you. Even
hey, I thought that was brilliant. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, I'm horrible. So anyway, yeah, see how this I don't think this is too much or whatever. Now the color contrast, because I'm using 2 colors, does make it pop a little more, which I have the other one that's just in let me see, just red or whatever. Let me see if I can get that one up. Just in red. So but you can add the website, the We Buy Houses, which is the main thing. It's big enough, and then you have your phone number, call or text there also. But I was the only reason I'm really able to get away with that is because I went more with a portrait look versus the traditional look that when you go, you know, wider, you know, versus what you call that, rectangle? Rectangles, yeah. Well, horizontal, yeah, horizontal. Yeah, the virtual more, the vertical more look or whatever. So, and these are 18 by 24, so they're 18 across, 24 height or whatever. So you can add a website, you can add a little tagline and, you know, your phone number or whatever, and they still pop. These are the best signs that I've been able to produce in the twine. I just basically copied this from a student of mine here local. I said, boy, them signs sure look good sitting, you know, the way they, you know what I'm saying? Hey, so he'll just say We Buy Houses and a phone number. You know, I got to do something a little different, whatever. So I added a website tagline because I got that much room, and they still are very visible, which is the main thing. So that was the question. Could you add a website, email? I wouldn't worry about an email, you know, because your website will be able to produce an email address or whatever. So boom, spelled it wrong. So there it is.
And I also be mindful, you know, when you put in these words on the sign, be mindful, people got about 1 to 3 seconds to read your sign, remember your sign, and write something down if they want to choose to write it down. So if you're, you know, if you put something on there and people can't really understand what it is, they're gonna look over it anyway. So just be mindful of what you're putting on those signs, because people have about 1 or 3 seconds to really remember or write down the information on your signs.
That's right. Hello, Rashid, Sade, Deidre, and Marcus joining us on Facebook. And to the one that wanted to know, I lost the name on YouTube, what was Ty's Instagram is Flipman on IG. Ask Flipman, and you'll see the bald guy.
Somebody said I was round and bald, round and round, a round head and country on Instagram.
Wow.
Round and country.
You round in country. Good one.
Well, that's what. Ooh.
It's shaped like an O.
And Holly said,
Hey, good. I ain't sensitive. Ooh.
right. Just make sure you add that highly educated behind what I'm talking about too. People forget to add the good stuff behind your name.
Okay. The next question on YouTube is from Teray Kearney. She wants to know, do you use voicemail drop as part of your marketing, and what's the best way to find buyers?
Personally, I haven't used voicemail drops. Is it a good lead generation? I mean, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I think it's a strategy that you could implement. Yeah, I don't think nothing is wrong with voice drops. The focus is to make sure that, have people listen to the voice message and give you a call back. But, I don't think nothing is wrong with it if it's generate leads.
Yeah, I've done them before. And from my experience, and I haven't given it a real chance, I don't think, is that you got to have some people in place, because what happens a lot is that they don't even listen to the voicemail. They just see they have a missed call and they just call you back. And so you have to be prepared to receive those, because those could turn into leads. So it's a very inexpensive way to reach a lot of people if you have a good list of numbers of property owners or whatever. So as long as you got the system set up to do your follow up, like with any form of marketing, but this is a unique way of marketing. So you really have to be ready to take on those calls whenever they call back, because a lot of times they don't even listen to the message. Like, did someone call me from this number? So you got to be ready to go into your spiel on what you were calling about, because you are calling them out of the blue and they don't know who you are. So if you have that part down, then yeah, it's a very inexpensive way to generate a lot of leads or whatever. So, but again, you just have the system set up to be able to receive those callbacks, whether they're responding to the actual message or the missed call.
What would be cool if somebody
who did that one?
Teray Kearney on YouTube, and it's towards the top.
Okay.
It'd be cool if you could actually trust the people and say nothing crazy. If you hit the request to send a request to be in Ask Flipman's live video.
Oh yeah, they can do that.
Yep.
Oh, talking about on
Instagram.
On Instagram.
It wouldn't show around here.
No, it wouldn't show up on here on
I was just thinking.
Yeah, but yeah, you there.
Sam Spates on YouTube wants to know, what are the biggest pitfalls of going for tax delinquent, not tax liens owners? So first of all, maybe let's explain what the difference is between tax delinquent and tax liens. What would be the difference between the two? If there is.
Tax delinquent just mean that they are behind on the taxes. In my opinion, it's not necessarily a lien yet, they're just behind on the taxes. Now, there is a difference from tax liens and tax deeds. Is two things that you can purchase from a tax sale. But when you're behind on your taxes, that's the delinquency. But purchasing tax liens or tax deeds, is that your question?
Yeah, that was basically, let me see. What are the biggest pitfalls for going, I guess, targeting tax delinquent, not tax lien owners?
Oh, I guess those are the individuals that have not, got to a point where they have the lien on their property taxes, but they're behind on their taxes and they're about to get foreclosed on. So you want to go in and catch these people up on their taxes. And I mean, and if that's what you're asking, it's very similar to catching people up on their payments of their behind on the mortgage. If it's just negotiation. You go in and you negotiate the payment of the taxes, and if you do pay it off, you negotiate them deeding the property over to you. In that scenario. But I think that's one of the situations where you have to negotiate directly with the homeowner on getting their taxes back, getting their taxes in good standing before it comes into foreclosure. And I don't think there's no pitfalls behind it. It's all about your negotiation, what you're trying to negotiate for paying those property taxes.
All right, I'm gonna ask a question for Queen of Investing on Instagram.
Somebody
She's
can't see.
No, with contact. She said, I'm trying to find comparables for a property sitting on 7 acres. There's nothing else there to compare to in a 3-mile radius. She wants to make sure that her offer makes sense.
Mm.
Well, when you got a property that's that unique, yeah, it's really outside of the norm in a particular market. It sounds like it's in a rural area. Well, no, I guess technically it doesn't have to be. But 7 acres, it's going to be outside of the norm for the rest of the houses. What I like to do is now, and I'll take a little of the acreage in play, and it depends on how much development is going on in the area, if any, is that I'm going to treat that house like the rest of the houses that are normal in that area, right? Mm-hmm. And I may give a little something for the land, but if there's no development going on there, and it's hard to predict if it is going to be going on, then that land is, I ain't gonna say it's worthless, but it can't be that big of a factor in the deal or whatever. So I gotta measure it on the normal houses, like to like, and the more likes to like is what I'll have to measure that house to. So it's just too many factors got to go on with the land for it to be included in the deal, depending on where it is, because it could literally just be 7 acres of land. Still, have some value, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't play a role into me doing that because there's no development. Because if that's in a D neighborhood, 7 acres, that's going to be a lot in a D neighborhood. But assuming it was, and it hadn't been a new house built in there in 40 years, know what I'm saying? It's going to be tough to take that into consideration or whatever. I've told people before, and I've done like one deal like this before. I said, we can divide the land. You can keep that because it's just not going to play a role into at the end of the day. And they did. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can say that's now I may have made a mistake there, but at the time it made sense to me or whatever. But I said if I could just the lot that you're sitting on that is comparable to the rest of the lots in this neighborhood, if I just get that, then that's what we can do the deal on, because a lot of times people feel like if they got 7 acres and the normal lot size is 1 acre in that area, they want to sell their house 7 times as much. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. So,
okay.
I don't know if I answered the question or not, but.
Okay.
You did. The next question is in regards to Zillow. I have a question that's on Facebook from Sade and also from Charles Shelley. So Sade says, so I got an email talking about the new Zillow movement. And Charles' question was, how do you think the wholesale business will be affected with Zillow, Redfin, etc., now buying houses? So I think they're talking about, I heard somewhere like when she posts a house on Zillow, Zillow has the option or could possibly just buy it outright and then just sell it later. So
if you'll pay attention, they have commercials now. It's called Zillow Offers, right? And so what they're actually Zillow Offers, yeah. Yeah, you just Google it. I'm sure it'll pop right up and go into detail. But basically, what they're doing now is that because they have so many people posting deals on their properties, whether it's for sale by owners or with agents, they'll just make you an offer on the property. If it's in one of the zip codes that they want to target, I think they're in 15 markets now and going to continue to grow. or whatever. And so, and what they're doing is they're buying the properties, getting some local contractors to renovate them, and putting them back on Zillow to sell. I think they said they sell them at 7.5% commission or whatever. And but you don't have to do any showing. They put like a lockbox on there with a certain app. I think that's already in play anyway. But and they'll provide the financing for the buyer if they want to go through their financing sources.
Really?
Yes.
They trying to kill the game, huh?
Oh yeah, they trying to make an effect on the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For sure. Many people.
Who would know more about the properties that hit the market the second that it hit, other than Zillow?
Yeah,
Zillow.
That's what I'm saying.
They know
Yes.
the property hit the second it hits.
Yes.
Wow. It's my first time hearing about it. It's it's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna.
Oh, it's gonna be. As of right now, what I was reading earlier today is that investors that invested in, I think there's publicly traded in their stocks or whatever, they're not really happy with it because they're losing money with that. Most of their money comes from advertising from agents or whatever. A huge part of their revenue comes from that. So, but you obviously got to when you start something. Especially if it wasn't what you really did and you try to start something new, you're gonna probably lose money. But again, like you say, they know everything that hits.
They know everything.
Especially listed properties. Now for sale by owner, everybody didn't put it there, but listed properties, all of it's coming through them.
They can really become the Amazon of real estate.
Oh yeah. Well, technically they already are.
They already
of the presence that they have, but as far as buy and sell, they can definitely become that. They can.
Wow. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. But it's opportunity, still be opportunity for you and I, or at the end of the day, or whatever. They can't buy it all.
They can't buy it all. And I'm pretty sure they're not trying to give you what you're asking for.
No.
That'd be interesting. Hey, everyone have an instant cash buyer now. So that's actually a good thing for a wholesaler. Everyone has an instant cash buyer. That's what it sounds like to me.
That's what it sounds like to me too. That's why I look at it.
Okay. Next question from Instagram for One Stay Leary. What is the process in obtaining a title company to work with? Should this be done before or after securing a deal? So
that's a really great question. It's okay to know who your partners are prior to getting the deal. So you want to begin to identify that title company or that attorney and give them a call or whatever to kind of see what their process is. So you're not trying to figure that out once you have a deal. So I would definitely recommend for you to take some time out to speak with a few attorneys or title companies so you can already have these players lined up when you do have a deal and you already know how to submit the deal to them. So you're not scrambling behind that. So yeah, I have your players in place prior. If not, then you have, a short window to try to find a title company or a attorney to close your deal. So, yeah.
Okay. Going with, Going with YouTube, the next question is from Positive Motivation. How do you find an inspector for an estimate for repairs when wholesaling? Do you have video on repairs and all of that? Because we do get asked this every week.
I need to do one. Like I said, I saw this other dude. He explained it better than I could ever explain it on how to just use the square footage and if it's livable. And then this will vary depending on the type of neighborhood, but it can be a good starting point for someone for sure. Just take the square footage of the property. If it's livable, do $25 a square foot. If it's not livable, $40. If it's a property that's maybe in a rental area more so than anything else, really not a resale area as strong, then maybe $15 per square foot. So.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you have trouble with, putting your map together, one method is to just take really great pictures, about 20, 25 pictures, take a very extensive video of the entire house. And if you do have contractors who don't have time to come out to your property, you can see if you can shoot that video or those pictures over and see if they could just give you an estimate. But I promise you, if you tell a contractor that you're a wholesaler, they'll never take the time out to look at your properties because they know that they're wasting their time with you because you're not selling it. I mean, you're not flipping the property. So I would never approach a contractor as I'm a wholesaler. I will always approach them as a seasoned investor, and I'm looking for a contractor to come in and rehab my projects. And you want to start that conversation off like that.
Yes, go ahead, Ty.
All right.
From Instagram.
From Instagram, someone has a question basically asking, how do you determine what are the hottest areas in the market? Which I did a recent video on that. It's titled how to determine the hottest zip codes in your market or whatever. If you go to YouTube and do a search for hot zip codes and put Flipman behind it, that recent video should pull up. And what I showed in that video is one way of doing it is I used the Dealulator, aka Propstream, to build a list based on a certain amount of sales within a certain time frame. Normally I would do 3 months, maybe 4 months. And if you can do cash buyers or you can do absentee, it's up to you on how you want to filter it out. But I just think I just did just straight sales. And in that, what you'll do, it'll pull a database. And what you can do once you download the Excel spreadsheet, you would then just sort it by the zip code. And then you would just simply count the number of sales in those zip codes. And you just build a short database. It only takes about 30 minutes, depending on how large the county or city that you're targeting. And hey, that's going to let you know where the sales are. Now you can do something similar with Zillow. Also, they're just going to take a little time. You can just pick out, well, with Zillow, you may have to just identify all the zip codes in your market, right? And then just put in a zip code on Zillow and do homes that sold only, and then you may do a 90-day time frame or 6 months, whatever you want to do, and it'll tell you. It'll just pull up the number. You don't have to do anything additional. You put in a whatever zip code and put in that search criteria. It's going to show you how many have sold in that time frame. So that's how you would take a spreadsheet and zip code 35211. You'll put 30, 35205. You'll put 40. And so, once you go through the 30 or 40 zip codes, how many in your market, then you can see where the most sales are. Hey, you're seeing exactly where the hot areas are based on the number of sales that have occurred over that time frame that you selected. So,
okay. Rose Gold Jones, and this is from YouTube, wants to know, if we tell the seller that we, the REI, is buying their house, then how do we explain the cash buyer for wholesaling?
Capital partner.
That's it.
Done.
That's it. Yeah. I always say we. We buying it. We purchasing it. My team. So now, you already put it in their mind that is more people than just you.
Okay. Raheem, and this again is from YouTube, do storm damaged homes, for example, hurricane, have to be completely repaired before giving the owner an offer?
Nope.
No.
I'm sorry, what's the question?
He's asking houses that may have been in like a hurricane or a tornado or something. Do the houses have to be renovated before you make an offer? I said, no, it just, it still boils down to repairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Looking at Instagram, AAA SY 2001 wants to know, is there any special filters that you use on Propstream, also known in this realm as Dealulator.com? So what do you use when you filter?
Filter for what?
I don't know. It just
guess
Lynn,
the addresses.
are there any special filters that you use on property?
It depends on what we're doing. Are we trying to build a list for buyers, trying to build for sellers, or are we trying to target cash, free and clear properties, high equity properties, pre-foreclosures, auctions? What else they got in there? Vacants. It just depends on what you're looking for. What are you targeting? What area?
That part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just have to be filter for your search for finding motivated sellers. That's what he said. He said it.
Okay. All right. Well, again, I'm about to pull it up right now. I'm about to pull it up. I'm just
It's so complicated.
yeah. I'm gonna pull this up right now. All right. So we'll just go with let's see what county we want to go with. I like to go with large counties because it'll pull a lot of data.
I have a quick question while you're pulling that up. So we were talking about Zillow and posting the houses and them ultimately making offers right there. But I guess like Shaq Smith said, that sounds like it would be a good thing for a wholesaler. You post it and then you might have a cash buyer right there. But Zillow wants to communicate only with the actual owner. And I think you
really?
can call and verify that to make sure that you're the owner. So how, I guess it's probably just a thought process. Now we got to start thinking about this, guys. How do you think you can work around that?
You would probably have to reach out to them directly and see what their policies are on that or whatever. You just have to read. They may be open, or they may not even know wholesaling exists. You just never know or whatever. So, and I'm sure they're coming from an agent's point of view on everything for the most part, / investor, but mostly, so who's advising them that's what it's going to boil down to. All right. But just to show him how to filter, what I did is I chose Miami-Dade County.
This is actually in Austin, Texas, Travis County, if you want to use his.
Travis County?
Yes.
Well, we're going to use, I think we're going to use it because I already got it up.
Okay.
It don't matter, same thing. All right. So he's trying to find motivation. I'm just telling you what I do now. And then still some other stuff that you have to take in consideration, but just to keep it cut and dry. So I pulled up the county. All right. So first thing you're going to go in here is you're going to do non-owner occupied. That's absentee. All right. And then I like to do free and clear, right? You don't have to do that. They got other options in here. You can mess with the equity and all that stuff as far as what they think the mortgages are. But I like to target free and clear. Some people just like to do vacants. They want to do lien properties with liens, high equity, bankruptcy, divorce, auctions, all that stuff. I like to do free and clear. And then you want to go ahead and choose the type of property. So the property type, in this case, single family. So I'll close that. So when I get down here to ownership information, I want to go to individual. All right. And I want them to have owned it for at least 1 year. Now you can go up to 2, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. You can do out of state owner or vacant, but the vacant is up here also. So normally that's all I'm going to put in here, and then I'll hit apply. So it comes up with, what is that, 14,735, right? Now, if you want to filter that a little more because that's too many for you, you may just want to do out of state. Now, it's going to reduce that quite a bit. It reduced it down to 1,100, right? So to say if you remove that and just did vacants, so I don't know what it's going to reduce it down to. So it reduces down to 725, any less. So now what you may want to do, say you own for more than 2 years, right? Okay. So it didn't reduce it that much. So 13,000, what's the name? So let's go up to 5 years. See what happens. Still 10. This is a good list here. Ooh. Free and clear, and they've owned it for 5 years. Wow. Let's go up to 10.
Wow.
Okay, we're down to 6,000. That's more doable. So now you can break that list up into a good cold calling list. You'll probably be able to pull using Mojo. I prefer to use Mojo than the actual skip tracing service here on Propstream, but it'll probably pull anywhere from 2,500 to maybe 4,000 phone numbers on that list, $40. You know what I'm saying? And so, or you can do direct mail to this list. And that was what was did 10 years. They've owned for 10 years or more. Now you can go back up to the 5, you'll have still around 10,000. So boom. And that's just the way I'm looking at it. You may look at it different, find a better niche that you want to target than what I'm doing. It just, those filters will do that for you. So however creative you want to get as far as trying to determine who you want to target, trying to increase the possibility of them being motivated to sell. So that answers the questions?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I am Groot.
You are Groot. Okay. Tiffany Stewart would ask, what site is this? This is Dealulator.com, aka Propstream. Dealulator.com. There is a monthly fee, but I would suggest you go to the site and add it to your war chest of tools for wholesaling. There is a 5-day free trial. Again, give it a go.
Dealulator. If you didn't get it, it's a play on the word calculator. Dealulator.com.
I roll sigh. Okay. So, and also listen, Tiffany, the cool thing is, and this is for everybody else too, if you go to Dealulator.com, that one-page contract that Ty's been using for the last 16 plus years, it's available. I don't know why you ain't got it up. It's up on Dealulator.com as well. And it's in the plug and chug version, which means you can enter all of your information in and email it out, download it, print it out, whatever you need to do. That one-page contract is there as well. You know what else is also on Dealulator.com? Before you even sign up for the service. Listen, so this part of it is free. It's also a calculator for you to calculate that ARV thing that we talk about, that 70% random number that we just pull out of the sky. At least that's what some of you guys think. But it's a calculator on there as well. See, agreement forms and deal calculator. Instagram, I know you cannot see it on your screen. I know you can't see it on your screen, but it's Dealulator.com. And I'll spell it this time because I spell it right. DEALULATOR.com.
And on the site, we have instructional videos on how to use that exact service that I just showed, that tool. So you have the free contract there that you can fill out, you can generate it and print. People have been using. I hope this has really helped, people that have used it. I use it all the time or whatever. I can't believe I waited this long to even do something like this. And then the deal calculator, I use that also, even though in a lot of cases I know in my mind what it is, but sometimes just getting that visual, it just helps you to say, okay, you know what I'm saying? Just to give you a different outlook on what you're actually trying to evaluate. So Dealulator.com to get that tool that I just showed you how to build your list or whatever. But the free contract that you can fill out so you don't have to worry about getting a paper in your hand or whatever, because email and technology is great. You just fill this out, download it, upload it to somewhere like DocuSign, get their email address, you send it, it'll ask you to sign it, then they sign it, boom, you got a contract that you can download and now email over to a title company and or closing attorney, just like that. So, and then the deal calculator again. So Dealulator.com. Thank you for the free plug in the setup.
Plug. We the plug. Okay, so Sierra, I do believe that you possibly are the same user on Instagram, but I think we kind of answered this question earlier, but not maybe in the form of what you're asking. So I will kind of purge a couple of questions.
Horsey Morris, Sierra House Horse. Horsey Morris?
Horsey, yes.
Horsey Morris?
Okay. Yes, that name. So the question, Radicchio, is how do you find a title agent or a title attorney? What's the process in acquiring the title agent to close the deal? The question on YouTube was, what's the process involved? Yeah, it's the same thing. Guys, and I think y'all are putting the wagon before the horse versus the horse before the wagon. So, worrying about the title company and the title attorney, or if you're an attorney state, where's the deal? None of that even matters until you have a deal. But it is an important part of the deal.
The equation.
Man, I'm talking like you. Okay. So Radicchio, how do you go about finding the end part of the equation, since we started?
It's definitely a part of the equation that is not necessary in the beginning. However, if you're looking for a quick closing, you kind of want to have these players in place. And and already have the attorney who know how to structure the deal based on what you're trying to do. All attorneys and all title agency does not do double closing or assignments and things of that nature. So, making sure you have those players in place is a good piece of the puzzle. However, this stuff is just Googleable. You can just Google real estate title companies in your local market. So I'm in Atlanta. I would Google real estate title companies of Atlanta, and a lot of them will just appear. I'll Google real estate attorneys in Atlanta. A lot of them just appear, and then you'll give them a call on who you're looking to, submit your deals to. You don't have to necessarily call them and try to ask them a lot of questions, but you may want to ask them regarding putting together a assignment type of deal. Do they process deals like that? Or a double closing type of deal? Do they process deals like that? But it's Googleable. Like here in Atlanta, we're big on networking. So a lot of us just network with the attorneys that we already familiar with, that's already familiar. I don't even have to vet them about assignment contracts or double closing, because this is the closing attorney that all the other real estate agents and all the other real estate investors are using. So, connect with people in your backyard and figure out who they're using, and use those same people. But it's pretty much Googleable.
Okay. Alina, I would suggest you're on Facebook, reaching out to Ty via his numbers pretty much everywhere. Give him a call or either message him on Instagram and or somewhere.
I hate I didn't mention we almost an hour in. I got a 24 unit apartment building that I need a cash buyer for. It is a value add opportunity, which means it needs some work, a lot of work. Asking $385 for it. Paying a $5,000 bounty fee for a cash buyer if we want to title that. Radicchio, we can do our thing. Just let me know.
Where is it located?
It's in a small town, about 70 miles. What is that? East of Birmingham. Well, it probably be considered, east of Birmingham, in Alexander City, Alabama. So you can Google for that.
Where Russell is?
Lord.
It used to be. Well, yeah.
70 miles south.
Yes, they still. Yeah. So 385. It's probably with at market rent and it's probably going to take about 150, 175 to rehab. Half of it is rented right now. But
really?
Chasing those tenants, so it might as well be vacant or whatever. They poorly manage a mom and pop operation or whatever. They're collecting anywhere from $375 to $450 a tenant, and the rate, the market rate if that property was good for all two ones, they could get $600 a month, for them. So you just do the math on that from there. So talk about a property that could either be worth anywhere between $800 and $1 million, after rehab, purchase, and renovation or whatever. So
you think it needs about 10,000 a unit?
That would be they would be in just excellent condition. 10,000 a unit. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. 5 buildings.
5 buildings. Wow. Heck.
They all on one parcel?
Yeah, they're all on one parcel. I got a little video of you, of course. You know what I'm saying? I'll send it to you.
That's interesting.
Let's see here. Ooh, David, in regards to the contract that's available on Dealulator.com, the social security number, I just jumbled all that up. Social security number required to be filled out is not necessary at all. You don't have to worry about putting that in. That's something that'll be figured out later on in the game. So, a lot of people are really, sticklers on not giving that out. That's no pressure. Don't worry about that.
NA, not applicable.
Yeah, whatever. David Lashley buys houses, and this is from Facebook. Can I do anything with a foreclosed home that sold on auction.com in May? The auction.com buyer hasn't closed yet. I think due to mold in the house, the ARV is 220. The balance owed is 40. Same thing we normally say about auction houses. Do you have 40 grand though? Like you had to be able to buy it.
He said the dude hadn't purchased it. yet. So
Like, yeah, it hasn't closed yet.
So yeah, I mean, it's really up to auction.com to sell it to you.
mhm.
You know, I think you just have to call them since they still have possession of it because the guy haven't closed on it yet. You know, I know auction maybe give people 30 days or, you know, or whatever, or you can extend it sometimes. You pay for that extension. However, it's one of those scenarios you just want to call auction.com directly and see what is that process, if you can put in an offer for the property, and purchase the property.
Okay. Next question, still coming from Facebook, is from Darius. Do you offer a seller script? I have my trace list and I'm ready to start cold calling. I've been researching and came up with my own. I just want to compare the two. Your own is fine. Go with it. Make the call.
Yeah, it's all about the opening statement, or as far as a seller script, in my opinion, you know, to make sure that you can have the conversation, and everything after that is collecting information and then trying to figure out why they want to sell it. You know, just trying to build rapport by figuring out why they want to sell, and just do more listening than talking, and is the biggest thing. So your opening statement is the key, but you may have to test a few to see what works for you or whatever, but you know, to get them to talk to you about selling their property is the main goal. So
Before
Do not state you're a wholesaler.
can you see if Art of Rico has a question?
what's the name?
Art of Rico.
Art of Rico.
Yeah, it would be towards the top. I can't see anything. Okay. While you're looking for that, I am going to answer this question, and actually someone else answered it for me on Instagram. So the question was, how much money do you need to start flipping houses? And CJ Allen answered correctly. You can wholesale with no cash or credit. If you're looking to fix and flip, maybe you need to find a partner depending on the deal. So Radicchio, how much money we need? Did CJ nail it?
As a direct lender, you know, we're asset-based lending. So a good scenario is to say that we lend up to 90% of the purchase price and 100% of rehab. So that means that you're coming to the table with 10 to 20% down to your purchase price, plus points, closing costs, and attorney fees. And yeah, so just kind of keep that in mind. Is 10 to 20% down payment plus closing costs, points, and attorney fees.
Okay. But as regards to wholesaling, no cash, no credit?
No cash, no credit is
No
needed
cash.
to wholesale. No cash, no credit.
All right. There you have it. Did you find it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. That's a question.
So other people were responding to this question. I just never actually saw the question.
Oh, he said, how you gonna wholesale if the number is wrong? Well, I don't care what. Well, I guess I can't say that.
That wasn't the question.
All right, what?
Responding to somebody else. So Art of Rico, if you can hear me, you're on Instagram. Post your initial.
I got it. Okay. Well, no, I don't.
No, you don't. Okay. Oh yeah, I can see that.
Oh, you can?
I can.
What?
2030.
Well, what am I doing?
I didn't say I can read it.
That's my live one.
That's not.
Hey, if you can read it from Atlanta, then what am I doing? we need to be in a different business. If you can read 30, 40 miles away.
Use me as no size.
We no side nothing. You can read from 30 miles. Military pay an unlimited amount of money. Oh man.
Y'all have me on strange things. Me number 11. Let's see here. The next question, let's keep it going. We're going to take it straight from YouTube. Mary popping it. Oh, Mary popping it. You got a question for me.
Okay, Mary.
It ain't nothing vulgar either. You mentioned driving for dollars. I have done that a bit for fun. Once I stop a place and get the address, do I follow that up with a mailing, leave a note in their box, track down their number, and call? So I would say all of the above, right?
So she said she drives for dollars and what?
She drives for dollars, and then she needs to know what to do with the address information when she gets it. So does she follow up with the mailing? Leave a note in their mailbox. Don't do that. That's actually against the law. Okay, track down their number and call.
Yes, I would say 2 out of 3, maybe 3 out of 3. And it really depends. A lot of time when you drive for dollars, you're looking for those homes that look vacant. So if you put something in their mailbox, they probably don't get it because they're not living there. So however, someone is living there, I think it's illegal to put things in their mailbox, but hey, do what you got to do. On the other side of it is you want to necessarily take that property address, go to the property records of the county, search the property address, figure out there's always a physical address, which would usually be the subject property, and there's a mailing address. If that mailing address is different from that subject property, that means that this is an absentee owner, and you want to mail that your letter or your yellow letter to the mailing address. If it's the same address that's if it's the same address that is the subject property and you know that property is vacant, then you may want to take it a step farther and skip trace the homeowner's name and figure out if you can find a phone number for that person and figure out if you can talk to someone directly on purchasing their property.
Okay. Hopefully that answered your question, Mary. Mr. Gigi, thanks for joining us. You're late, but thanks for coming. Let's see here. Next question is going to be from DCbo one. Would it be a good idea to take a picture of your Bandit sign and post it on social media and Craigslist? So I guess just using the Bandit sign everywhere.
I think and I'll reach out to her just because I hadn't watched it in a while. A lot of you out there have watched it. The interview that I did with the couple out of DC, Aaliyah and Antoine, I think that's how she found that deal that she made 70 grand on it. She posted a picture of her putting out a Bandit sign or whatever and had the number on it, and this guy called her, for his grandmother, I think that's how she found that. That was 70 big ones later.
Wow. Absolutely. You want to use all outlets to generate leads. You definitely want to use your social media.
Never know who's watching.
Yeah. You never know who's watching, and people are inspired by what you're doing. So I'll definitely encourage everyone. If no one knows that you're selling real estate, who are you selling to? So you want to advertise to as many people as you possibly can advertise to.
Okay. James, from New Orleans, from Nowlands, Crescent City. What's your opinion on marketing a property to my cash buyers before I've gotten the purchase agreement signed by my seller? Is that a good idea?
That can go left or right.
Well, I got a few buyers that I don't even think about them going around. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's your relationship.
Yeah, just relationship.
It all boils down to a relationship you have with your end buyers.
Yeah.
If you have a whole bunch of random people that you don't even know who's on your list, there's a possibility someone can go around you because there's no loyalty to you. But for individuals that you have a relationship with, there's loyalty there. It's okay to solicit the property for sale, but just understand that technically you cannot solicit a property for sale that you do not have contractual rights to. So that's why if you do it, you want to do it within your little exclusive list of buyers within your circle, because no one is telling on you. No one is calling the real estate commission saying that you advertise a property that's not yours and things of that nature. So I think it's okay. It's just a matter of your relationship with your buyers on your list.
Okay. This is from Jonathan, and Jonathan sounds like a pretty good deal. I'm sure Todd's going to say.
We need to, what's the name out?
Yes.
From YouTube.
Okay, is it a deal?
No, I don't mean like deal. I should have said good idea. So, we're talking about Bandit signs and you naturally zip tying them. Then the other question was, what about putting it on social media? And his question was, what about using them as business cards, making them smaller? Just the whole.
Oh, that's good too. That's unique.
What do you mean?
Love it.
Just passing out a small version of your Bandit sign,
You
like
mean
a business
out
card.
of corrugated plastic?
No, it's a
I can honestly
just
say,
like the Bandit sign.
Oh well, yeah.
I can honestly say, I know a few people in Atlanta turned their, I wouldn't say bandit signs, but turned their bandit signs / business cards into a postcard. So you can get more information on it. On one side, it say, you know, we have money. So they was selling loans on one side. The other side was their information or contact information and things of that nature. So, I mean, marketing is marketing. You know, I mean, you know, an oversized business card won't hurt you. I mean, you know, a business card get tossed out anyway, but it's a form of marketing.
Okay. I like it. It sounds cool. Bandit cards. Bandit cards. Yeah.
Bandit cards.
Bandit
That's
cards.
neat.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
All right.
I like bandit cards. That is
Mhm.
unique. I haven't heard someone say that.
Here we go. Brain working. The wheels are turning. Big wheels keep on.
Bandit cards. I like
Bandit
it.
cards.
Do it.
Before we go, I want you to put Radicchio's contact info on the screen. People most definitely want to know how to reach out to her.
Yes, mother.
Yeah, that's right. And Radicchio, for those of us, not for us, because I hear you. I hear exactly what you talk about. For those that don't know what services your company provides and may have missed it and they refuse to go back and watch the video and rewind, let's go ahead and tell them what services your company provides to them to step their wholesaling game up to the next level.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. First and foremost, our focus is to bring financing, creative financing options to help you finance your real estate portfolio, your wholesale business, your fix and flip, your buy and hold. We have creative financing options to help get you from one step to the next step until you having a full-blown real estate portfolio. We have a ton of financial options that we can help you to be able to support your real estate business. You can go to findmynextdeal.com. That'll get you to my website that show you all those financing options that we have. One of them for sure for your individuals who are looking just for additional money for the wholesale business and marketing, because yes, we are flipping real estate with absolutely no money and credit. However, sometimes you got to put a little some marketing dollars up. So if you need funding to help fund your real estate business as a whole, we have a program called Gap Funding where we can leverage your credit to receive up to $150,000 to help offset some of the expenses to jumpstart your business. And we have a host of residential fix and flip buying holds and new construction products. But go to findmynextdeal.com if you want to get started on any of those financing options, or you can email me at funding@fkfinancials.com if you have any questions as well.
All right, there you have it, guys. Again, funding at fkfinancials.com. And again, Miss Radicchio Williams is available across all social media platforms. Speaking about social media platforms, Ty finally broke the 10,000 subscribers.
Really?
Follower mode. That's why he was able to stream on Instagram today. But if you have not opted to follow him on Instagram, go to Axe Flipman on IG and do so. Keep in mind that this video will be available on YouTube as soon as we finish. You can come back and watch it along with all the other videos that Ty has put out there for you guys. Think about it, guys. Send your questions via Instagram so we can post them live.
Not a text question, a video with you asking your question, similar to
what? The young lady that was on earlier.
Yeah, similar to.
I
want to show this one again. Similar to.
Wait for it.
This one here.
Flipping houses and how I can make money on flipping houses. I have no experience. I want to see how I can learn to flip houses without putting down little to money and earn great money doing it. So I just want to be like you who are already making money. So I'm just trying to get some feedback clarity. I can start where I should start so that I can bring in some.
Boom.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
That was great.
Yeah. Boom. Yeah.
It was great.
I love it. I love it. And it would be an easier way for to interact with you guys one-on-one versus me just reading the questions. Don't be thinking you're gonna boot me out of where I am, but you can go ahead and send me your videos.
But it still got to be managed. Everybody ain't gonna do
Okay, I'm just making sure. Just making sure. Okay, but without further ado, guys, it's August. Don't wait. It's never too late. You still have time. Educate yourself and be consistent. We talked about that last week. Go watch that video. Jump into the 370 plus, probably 380 plus, 390. Have you broke 400?
What?
Videos? On
No, I
YouTube?
don't think so.
Not yet.
I don't think so.
Okay, but it's plenty of videos for you to begin your wholesaling journey. Binge, grind,
And
stack your coins. Holidays are coming up. Be here before you know it. Go ahead and get you a couple of checks in the back. Cash the check and chase the bag. Well, we will see you next Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. And thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the flip side. Goodbye.